Hello, my beloved students. How are you? I hope that all of you are doing well and in a good health. As you remember, in a previous lessons, we talked about articles and we have explained how to use and when do we use the definite and indefinite articles, if you remember. And we said also we have three articles in English language. احنا زي ما انتم متذكرين احنا سبق وحكينا على درسنا الدروس الماضية شرحنا قاعدة articles in English. حكينا شو يعني articles and we have already defined it. We also talked about the two types of articles. حكينا عن النوعين of articles اللي هم definite articles و indefinite articles، وقلنا إنه definite article هي the وال indefinite articles اللي هم الآ والآن. And we have already also explained that we have three main kinds of articles in English. يعني إنه بس ثلاث articles، ثلاث أنواع يعني أو ثلاث كلمات بالarticles we use it اللي هي الآ والآن with the. تمام. وقلنا كمان شرحنا when we don't use article we call it zero article، ومتى احنا ما في داعي لاستخدام الارتكلز كله موجود عندكم and I will إن شاء الله send you the explanation as a PDF. In today's lesson, inshallah, we are going to do some exercises about articles in your workbook, page 51 and 55. رح نعمل شوية exercises أو نجاوب exercises موجودة عندكم بكتاب الworkbook, page 51 and 55 صفحة 51 وصفحة 55. And I have already answered all the exercises that I gave to you in the worksheet that I sent to you on Thursday. وكمان أنا شرحت سبق وحلت لكم بالفيديو اللي قبل بالرابط اللي قبله، شرحت لكم على يعني الاكسرسايزز اللي أنا أرسلت لكم إياها as a worksheet كورقة عمل في أو تخص الارتكلز in English. في طبعا مثل ما انتم متذكرين exercises عن الارتكلز وحليتها كلياتها. خلونا نبلش بكتابنا الورك بوك page 51 صفحة 51 and let's start with exercise number 1. خلينا نبدأ exercise number 1. هلا هون بحكي لنا complete the sentences with a, an or the. رح نكتب sentences with a, an or the. Let's start. Number 1. In Mr. Duffy's kitchen there was a pretty bowl on the table. Bowl was full of plums. طيب هلا هون احنا قلنا when we talk about something for the first time we use a or an، وحكينا انه الآ والآن بيجي بعديها noun of course لاني بدي اعرف النون، و sometimes اذا كانت adjective ممكن تيجي adjective فبستخدمها قبل الادجكتيف، مش بحط الادجكتيف بعدين الآ او الآن بعدين النون. We have already also explained that we use a when the word starts with a consonant letter, and we use an when the word starts with a vowel letter. Okay. وقلنا when we talk about something for the second time we use the definite article da. So احنا عنا هون there was a pretty bowl. بنلاحظ انه pretty هون it is an adjective والbowl هي noun. Please hold your pens and write down the answers with me. امسك قلمك افتح كتابك page 51 and write down the answers with me واكتب الإجابات معي إجابة. So in Mr. Duffy's kitchen there was a pretty bowl on the table. يعني كان في طبق جميل. هلا هون I mentioned the bowl for the second time, so we use the definite article da. فبتصير the bowl was full of plums. Okay. Move to number 2. In Mr. Duffy's workshop, there was a screwdriver and a chisel on the workbench. شوفوا هون there was a screwdriver، نستخدم الآلة إنه بلش with a consonant. a chisel برضه بلش بconsonant. on the workbench. هلا شوفوا هون مرة تانية ذكرنا the screwdriver فبنستخدم the screwdriver was old but the chisel was new. Number 3. Behind Mr. Duffy's house there was a courtyard. إذا هون directly ما رح أستخدم the ولكن حستخدم courtyard، يعني كان في عنده ساحة خلفية. و for the second time بنحكي in the courtyard stood. okay or stood ايش stood ايش بستخدم an old beech tree ولا old beech tree with the old beech tree؟ لا طبعا for the first time بحكي لنا عنها فبنحكي stood an old beech tree. Number 4, Sally's present was blue and white boat. Across the middle of boat, little sailors sat on benches. Mr. Duffy picked up sailor and showed it to George. خلينا نيجي هلا one by one. هلا بحكي لنا Sally's present was. عنا هون blue، طبعا احنا blue and white حكينا قبل هالمرة عنهم adjectives وشرحنا انه الكالرز بيجوا as a nouns، ولكن اذا سبقوا اسم بصيروا adjectives. فبتصير عندي there was a blue and white boat across the middle of the boat، لأني حكيت عنه for the second time فصار معرف عندي. across the middle of the boat يعني بمنتصف البوت القارب. little sailors sat on benches يعني عندي هون اللي هي بحارين صغار كانوا جالسين في المقاعد. Mr. Duffy picked up a sailor، مش the sailor لأنه هون one sailor a sailor and showed it to George. هلأ هون لما حكالي عن السيلر for the second time بستخدم the sailor had dark hair. the sailor had dark hair. طيب ننتقل الآن للإكسرسايز number 2. let's do it together and let's change the color. Look at the picture. طبعا هون موجود عندنا picture. We are going to use a, an or the. هلا إذا بدي أطلع هون على البيكتشر I'm going to describe a place. طيب Clara arrived at the last house on the street. شوفوا هون لأنه أنا عم بحكي عن إيش؟ بحكي عن شيء معرف، بحكي عن something that Clara told me about. So Clara arrived at the last house حددته on the street اللي موجود بالشارع. The garden gate. okay the garden اللي هي طبعا gate creaked. شوفوا هون creaked يعني أصدر صوت صرير. تمام، لما تكون البوابة قديمة فبتطلع صوت. إذن the garden gate اللي هي بوابة الحديقة creaked as she opened it. لما فتحت بوابة الحديقة طلعت صوت. The garden was untidy and neglected. شوفوا هون the garden الحديقة شو مالها untidy غير مرتبة و neglected يعني مهملة. There were two white birds on the roof. كان في إيش عنا two white birds on the roof. okay and smoke was rising from the. ننتبه لهاي الفوكاب. خلينا نطلع على الword this word chimney. شايفين هون مش chimney لا chimney الواي سايلنت والصوت للإي فبتصير chimney معناها مدخنة. okay rising from the chimney. تمام chimney of the house of course. Someone was at home. Clara walked up the path يعني مشيت من خلال الممر and knocked. ما بنلفظ الكي هون بتصير knocked on the front door وهون طبعا هي طرقت على الباب المجاور. so إذا اتفقنا إنه question number 2 كلياته أو exercise 2 all of it with the definite article the. تمام كلياته with the definite article اللي هي the. رح ننتقل الآن ل exercise number 3. هلأ عنا ب exercise number 3 complete the sentences with the or no article at all. يعني يا بستخدم the definite article أو no article at all. خلينا نبلش. This bakery usually sells delicious cakes but cakes which I bought today were horrible. هلا هون حكينا إنه this is general. هو هذا ببيع إيش؟ delicious cakes. delicious cakes. So this is zero article. ولكن in the second time when we talk about the cakes, when we talked about the cakes بنحكي إيش؟ but the cakes. ولكن الكيكس اللي أنا اشتريته منه اليوم كان horrible. سيء جدا. That factory makes boots from high quality leather, but leather of boots in this shop is poor quality. هلا هون that factory made boots. هو بيصنع boots. فزيرو article. ما بحط لا boots لأنه أول شي عندي جمع البوتس. لا بتاخد لا ولا آن ولا بتاخد ده لأنه عم بحكي إنه بصنع هو البوتس from high quality. مش a high quality leather لا ولكن بدها تضل high quality leather. okay, but sorry, but the leather of boots in this shop is poor quality. Move to number 3. Have you tried peaches from Mr. Duffy's tree? Have you tried peaches? طبعا ما رح يزبط peaches ولا zero article لأنه أنا حددت لك from Mr. Duffy's tree. فبدها تصير عندي the peaches from Mr. Duffy's tree. No, why not? Don't you like peaches? هون طبعا رح تكون zero article لأنه أنا in generally I'm asking you about something. يعني أنت ما بتحب أقدر أحكي لك أنت don't you like the peaches. إذا بدي أجي أحكي لك مثلا بدي أحط أستخدم الذا بدها تكون don't you like the peaches from Mr. Duffy's tree. طيب نيجي لنمبر 4. Professor Brown is very interested in education. فهون zero article ولا the education ولا a education ولا an education. He is especially concerned with the education. شوفوا هون for the second time of teenagers اللي هو طبعا تعليم المراهقين. هلا بالنسبة لإكسرسايز number 4 it is not required from you. يعني مش مطلوب منا ف we don't need it. okay, مش مطلوب. it's not required. Now let's move to page 55. خلينا ننتقل الآن ل page 55. In page 55 we have a short exercise اللي هو number 1 بالgrammar page 55. احنا هلأ page 55 اللي هي التشيك اب الموجودة عنا ليونت 6. طبعا بالتشيك اب we have in the grammar بس the grammar section عنا only exercise 1 we are going to answer it. Write a, an or the. If no article is necessary write X اللي هو zero article. In Mr. Duffy's workshop there was an old workbench. alright فهون استخدمنا الآن. On the workbench there was a pot. okay, there was a pot of إيش؟ of paint. فهون ما في داعي لا a paint ولا إشي. هون باجي بستخدم paint was blue فبتصير the paint was blue. There were two brushes فبدها تصير عندي هون ال brushes for the second time. The brushes were lying on إيش؟ lying on a piece of paper. برضو نفس الشي هون no article. فهون lying on a piece of paper مش of a paper ولا the paper لا lying of a piece of paper. تمام. برضو هون exercise number 2 it is not required from you. Tomorrow inshallah we are going to start with a new unit and it's going to be the reading comprehension part. رح يكون عندنا reading comprehension part. I hope that you understood the lesson carefully and I have seen your worksheets or the answers of your worksheet which were we can say good not bad. There were some mistakes but you are going to discover your mistakes. Please keep in we can say concern more about your lessons and about your study. نضلنا متابعين أول بأول. Follow the instructions, follow the lessons daily. Don't postpone any of your lessons. حاولوا إنه أنتوا ما تأجلوا تمام أي درس من دروسكم. يعطيكم العافية يا سابع. Thank you so much for being good listeners. Bye bye.